right? No, dude. Logan Paul versus Mike Tyson was a good exercise. Um. All right. Who are we? Joe Budden violates. I don't want to watch a really long video.
Generate sampler. All right, so let's see what happens.
Joe Budden goes in on Drake and calls him a lying, manipulative sack of crap. That's right. On episode 779, Joe Budden really went in on Drake like he has never before. And that's saying a lot for a guy that pretty much hates Drake. So let's get into it. Joe starts off the pod playing some of the greatest Drake diss tracks of all time, Exodus and Euphoria, so you already know it's going to get a little crazy. Now, I'm going to follow this by saying that some of the highlights of what Joe said was that Drake is a lying sack of crap. He has been sleeping with people's babies' moms and sending money to baby moms, and told Metro he didn't care if his mom died.
You know what's interesting? Years ago, as Juan Ep would say, years ago, Kanye got hospitalized for calling out Drake and Khaled for doing their whole, pumping up the streams for that one fucking song for free. Hated that fucking song. Such a dog shit record, bro. And yeah, bro. Kanye was hospitalized for that shit. Kanye don't look so crazy now, bro. That's what's crazy about all this shit. Kanye doesn't look he looks completely normal.
He needed some beats. Joe also said that Drake is sending paperwork stopping people from entering certain spaces. And
here's the thing, Kanye would lose a battle. Like, to most rappers, Kanye's losing the battle. You know what I mean? Kanye is never going to go and sue nobody. You know what I mean?
He believes Drake is using this petition to stop the momentum of Not Like Us and ultimately get it to not be played at the Super Bowl because he does not want to be called a PDF file, and even says, hey, Drake, if you're not a PDF file, why does it bother you? Which is insane for Joe to throw out there. Now to the case. Joe says he has no sympathy for Drake signing that
that's solid logic.
Deal, the $400 million deal, because what he believes is that he signed a bad deal and now he's trying to get out of it by petitioning his label. Joe then says Drake will never know his value because he's always been a paid worker, and that he signed a deal that he thought was good,
well paid,
and now he regrets it and believes that Drake sold his soul because he was chasing a check. Joe then says Drake's raps indicate that he was expecting a deal far larger than the $400 million that he got in the last deal. The cast throws around a lot of numbers, things like 600, 800, but ultimately they believe that the label did not want to give him that deal because they probably had metrics that suggested that Drake wasn't really the guy that deserved that. And
one thing that a lot of people keep saying is like, oh, Drake keeps the light on in the label. Wouldn't it be like in the label's best interest to have more than just one guy keeping the lights on, as it were, right? Or am I tripping? Wouldn't one guy keeping all the lights on at the label be like too risky as a business owner? Yeah, I don't know.
He had already lost all his leverage because, his best years were behind him. A little bit later, towards the back end of the pod, they start to get into the petition, and most of the cast is saying that, oh, this is likely going to be thrown out. This is just standard business practice in the music industry. Mark Lamont says it, but then later on, Ish and Mark start to come around and try to see Drake's side by saying that payola is still illegal. And he highlights the Spitzer probe in New York City. I believe he went after the radio stations and the record labels and says that...
You know what this showed is that influencer marketing probably doesn't work as well as like some random ass discovery mode that Spotify will come up with.
Drake doing this is maybe just a leverage play to get things in discovery and have everyone kind of just give him his demands because they don't want to open up that can of worms. And Joe also says that he thinks Drake is probably right in what he said, but he's essentially opening up Pandora's box. And Joe then once again calls Drake the B word. He's done that before. And I'm telling you, man, this was really wild. I think that Joe might actually look back at this episode and realize that he went a little off the board. And it was not even just reflected in the way that he was talking about Drake. It reflected in the way that he was talking to his cast members. He was constantly telling them to shut up, be quiet, let me get my stuff off. And this is very reminiscent to 8 years ago. If you don't remember, 8 years ago, when Joe Budden started the pod, he was beefing with Drake at the time. And he was telling his cast members, be quiet, you need to go in on Drake. It became about Drake versus Joe Budden. And this is confirmed by what Marissa Mendez said, by Rory's words later on. He said that he was afraid it was going to become the Drake podcast. And in many ways, the Joe Budden podcast did become the Drake podcast. It's kind of like a reaction to Drake's career in some sense, and it's just really wild. But let me wrap up by bringing up some of the highlights of this episode that weren't at the forefront of the Drake thing. They also say in this episode that Lil Wayne recorded he went in the booth to possibly disc.
Please shut the fuck up, dude. What the fuck is Wayne gonna do at this point? You know what I mean? Like, Wayne's always been really good, but his disses have always been very, like, throw the rock and hide your hand. You know what I mean? Like, you could have engaged Jay-Z, never engaged Jay-Z. Would have smoked Jay-Z. Like, let's be real, bro. Like, back then, when it was the time to do it, Wayne would have came out on top. And he still did, but he didn't engage Jay-Z or anyone else. You know what I mean? Sure, he had, like, Pusha T disses out there and stuff. But no, dude, he didn't engage anybody. He never engaged anybody. You know what I mean? Mr. Protected Pop Star. You know? Whatever, dude. Talking about fragile op.
Kendrick, but, he tried to call Kendrick and Kendrick didn't answer. The rest of the cast starts to kind of, I'm just saying, they slobbing Kendrick a bit, man. They're like, oh, Wayne shouldn't even respond to him because nobody wants to hear it. But Ish is the only one that seems to be on Wayne or Drake's side, saying that, hey, man, Lil Wayne can rap too. He shouldn't necessarily bow before the kingdom of, or bow beneath the kingdom of Kendrick, and that if he feels he can rap, he can rap. Then also something else that I highlighted was he says that he believes Drake was the beneficiary of Budden.
Oh, you mean the Joe Budden podcast co-host had the most generic argument ever? Oh, damn.
So why is he mad at Kendrick for doing that? It's a theory a lot of people have. Joe also says that Drake's fan base migrated from being cool people to incels. I don't know what data he has of that. I think it's just something that...
Why do you need data for that, bro? Why the fuck do you need data?
He's kind of creating in order to undermine Drake's career in the back half of his career. And he says that Drake forgot who he was fighting for, and even highlights how he was click hopping, going from the Princes to Lil Wayne to all these other folks. So he just really...
Drake never fought for anyone but himself, bro. You know, like, if you really look at it, I remember when he was first coming up, I was a fan. Comeback season, So Far Gone. Even Thank Me Later was pretty decent. But, yeah, he never fought for anyone except himself. He never, he was one of those guys who came up during the end of the blog era. And during the end of the blog era, we can talk about that too, because I think that was such a great era because people cared about what they were doing. People weren't, oh, Trey, what's good, bro? Yeah, I think Trey, bro, we have to lock in on a little project, early next year, dude. Your stuff is fucking fantastic, bro. Definitely got to do that if you're down. I am working on like a few things right now, so I don't want to do it just yet. But January type shit. Let's try to get something going. But yeah, the blog era. A lot of good stuff came out during the blog era because the media, right, gave a fuck, and it wasn't too incentivized monetarily to be swayed by anything, you know. Um, and Drake was one of those people who I saw, and a lot of other people probably saw as like someone who, oh, he can just stay independent and be just big and do his thing, and it's not gonna matter. He doesn't need to sign with anybody. Like people were hoping he wouldn't sign with anyone, and I was one of those people because at like you want to talk about labels being bad now. Back then it was even worse, bro. You know what I mean? That's when like fresh off of ringtones, you know what I mean? Like maybe 5 years out from that shit. Shit was kind of wild, dude. Like I know for a fact Big Sean, like one of the bigger artists of this generation, he got signed for like, 30 grand or some shit, 20 grand. Like that, and that's from, Kanye's label. So imagine what everyone else was getting. And like, I think a lot of people thought that Drake could have fought the good fight and been independent, but he never gave a fuck about that shit, dude. He never gave a fuck.
He goes in on Drake, and he also says that Drake isn't really a big business success outside of music, highlighting how his Nike, NFL, Apple, hookah, candle, and record label deals haven't worked. Now I don't know what he means by the Apple thing, and I don't know. I thought the Apple thing went well. Then they cover the 100 gigs thing and says that he tried to release on Instagram, and he thinks that Ice brought this up, that Drake owns his own music, but he doesn't have control of it, so he can't drop it in the way he wants. Now that was the episode in a nutshell. I'm not trying to break down the whole thing. I just wanted to take the Drake diss, which is what everybody is probably looking for. Now this is only on Patreon as of now, so I think it's gonna.
God damn it, Danny! All you do is fucking shut the fuck up, dude. I want to see what like Joe actually said, or he called him, where he named him. You know what I mean. Whatever, dude. Fucking yeah. Joe said the one thing that I feel like Kendrick should have said. I'm trying to find it. Whatever, bro. Let's watch this KB goes on.
Getting my first client made me feel like I actually knew what I was doing. When I was figuring out my
All right, so we got Joe Budden finally giving his opinion on this whole.
But yeah, Kendrick was always gonna win this, bro.
Going on,
Kendrick would have won this 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 2 years ago. He probably just didn't really want to do it. I don't know.
700.
He was never going to lose it.
Joe Budden been grinding on that podcast. But a lot of people have been waiting to hear Joe Budden's opinion on this and everything that has went down with Drake and these petitions that were filed, because Drake is looking to find information he could use in a lawsuit against UMG, which is not only his record label, but also Kendrick Lamar's record label. Now, I knew when Joe Budden finally gave his opinion on this, he was going to be blunt like he always is. Right? Joe Budden don't really mince words, but I ain't gonna lie, he went all the way up in this episode right here. He said that Drake was a selfish, lying, manipulative sack of who made enemies for 15 years, and now we're here at the boiling point. Right, that's a direct quote from this episode. He pretty much says that it's over with for Drake as we know him because of this beef he's having with his record label. He says Lucian Grainge made Drake, and now he was going to end him, that the labels have chosen the side of Kendrick Lamar. He implies that Drake already knows this. That's why Drake went.
But the labels kind of only go where where the money is, bro. And if everything was kind of pointing towards just nonsense making money, like that's what they're gonna go for. You know what I mean? And let's be real, bro. Until Cole said something on a lot, everybody was botting their streams a lot. That's why everybody's album sales went down. Except for Tyler, I say that almost every live. His last album before Chromacopia outsold Igor, which outsold the album before that. Anyone else, You look at it, and over the last 2 years, their sales went down. Anyone who went platinum off a single and then sold 20,000 on their album was botting their shit, bro. And to be real, that's 90% of everything that was thrown out over the last 5 years, bro. You know what I mean? Everyone outside of like two or three like big rappers that just everyone likes, you know what I mean? Not everyone likes, whatever, you know what I mean, who have huge followings. Everyone who went platinum completely bricked when their albums dropped, bro. And that's why, because everybody used bots, bro. That was part of the marketing plan, you know what I mean? SM Zeus, it's a site where you can just buy the shit, dude. SM Zeus, here. It's right here. Look, it's right here. Start now. Start now. Register, Skype, you know what I mean? They'll call you and everything, help you figure it out. You can bot all this shit they got here. You can bot. You know, you got a video game you need good reviews on right here, Steam. They got you. And they don't even have the pricing anymore on the site. But this shit is cheap, bro. This shit is very cheap. And the more money you have, the more it's going to pay back. You know?
Went ahead with these petitions because he already knows
that might not be the case anymore, guys, right? Because it might be a little different now since the actual industry stopped using it. You know, in my opinion, they probably stopped using it, or probably stopped using stuff that's so overt, you know. But yeah, dude.
This is a fact that the labels have chose a side. He talks about the $400 million deal that Drake has been in with them. You know, we all know this is coming at a time where Drake is right in the middle of a negotiation with them for his next deal, or he was at least. I mean, Joe really...
That's how a lot of producers rank on YouTube to sell their beats too, bro. Like, don't sleep.
He gets into the thick of it. This was a really good episode. So, look, I'm not going to hold y'all too long. I'm going to go ahead and run a clip, let y'all hear what he said, and then I come back.
People ask me all the time, Drew, how do I find a
Shut
doctor
the fuck
like the ones
up,
that come
dude.
on your...
I gotta pay the fucking...
Drake was supposed to be the leader of that and say, yo, I have hundreds of millions of people that's going to do and go as I say when that was at its peak. Who cares now?
You know what? And he might have went in there and said that and said, being that I got this, I want 400 million.
Well, he was due to 400 million based off his own.
I'm just saying
name.
that at that point,
based off
that
his own
might have been
good
what
name.
I'm fighting for.
Oh,
And now I learn more, and it's
then he sold everybody short.
Or no.
Then he sold everybody short.
Yo, y'all know I got the ear of yo, bro. Adversity. We are keep missing that. He might not have ever had to have that stance with the labels before. He may have never had to have that stance.
But that's the point. That's the point. You take that stance when you don't have to have it, bro, and then you'll have the realest impact, bro. You know what I mean? If they're talking about what I think they're fucking talking about.
You go home after getting the door shut in your face. Now you go home and ponder on how to get around the door, or your brain goes to plan B mode.
First door. Well,
this might be his first plan B chance
well, maybe instead of running around and buying Pusha T's first microphone and Pharrell's chain, Michael Jackson looked Paul McCartney in the face and said, "How much is your publishing? What the are you talking about?"
Said that too. If your pub was up for sale, I buy the whole thing. He got to that point.
I know, on a record.
He got to that point.
I know, on a record. What he did in real life was go buy a van that looked like it was on Good Kid, Mad City. You had the big boy poker table now.
Yeah, you spent $2,000 on a van.
You walking down that little hallway in the wind with the coffee shop and the bars on the corner. To the left is a little slot machines. To the right, you can see him if the ain't close. You can see him. Is the big boys.
Are we complicit?
You need 5 million plus, 10 million plus to be allowed over here. So again, negligence, naivete on his part, because if you're aware of your opponents, then yeah, I'm trying to go buy Futures Publishing. I'm trying to go buy 21 Savage's Publishing. I'm trying to go buy something that makes my conversation when I walk in this office with Lucien or whoever go a little bit different. They don't care about nothing that he built his house on, which is, I got all the hits, I got the number ones, I have the run, my album. Yo, we made that. And your best music, we gonna run that up. Go make your mid. Go make your mid. We gonna put all them albums that we own, your fire. That same little algorithm trick you think we doing, we still doing it.
Deluxe.
Yeah,
5-year anniversary.
We got
10-year
you.
anniversary.
Hey, have a
20-year
blast
anniversary.
with whatever honestly never mind did. Have fun
Yeah, well, whatever.
with that. The label must ain't been too thrilled because that shit came and went too. At some point, you gotta have something that stay, and they not gonna let nothing stay. What do you think is gonna happen with the Drake Party Next Door album now that he's got these suits out?
Brick. Cricket.
That's what I mean about him. That's what I mean about him.
They
Party
don't
somewhere
come out.
thinking that this is the best opportunity that ever happened to me. Wow, thank God this is happening. That shit happened in 2014, right after, if you reading this, it's too late. Right after that, that's when that happened. Now, it's too late. And you only doing it, again, for your selfish, greedy fucking reasons. That ain't about to help him. That's about to hurt him. Now it's about to get to a point, anybody that stand with Drake, the high-ups is just looking. Stand there if you want. It's over. They sending a clear-cut message. Yo, it's over. And Drake knows it. So I'm not arguing with nobody now. These suits say he knows what time it is.
For sure.
Yeah.
So he's just going out snitching, basically.
Over the past several months, Drake has repeatedly sought to
That's what it
engage
looks like.
UMG in discussions to resolve the ongoing harm he has suffered as a result of UMG's actions. They have refused to engage in negotiations and insisted that UMG is not responsible for its own actions. Instead, they pointed the finger at Mr. Duckworth, a.k.a. Kendrick, insisted that Drake should initiate legal action against him rather than UMG, and even threatened to bring its own legal claims against Mr. Duckworth if Drake were to pursue claims against UMG.
Newsflash, that's what he wanted to do anyway, but he can't.
You can't do that.
But if y'all think the Karen in him don't want to sue Kendrick himself
But isn't that the purpose of this?
directly, then I don't know what game you're looking at.
If he had sued,
I don't care if they said, hey, go sue him. Guess what? That's jargon to you now. For me, that says even they lying to you different than they normally would. They not going to jump on that suit if Drake sues Kendrick. They've anointed Kendrick. You are going to take us to the next stratosphere. We're not jeopardizing that. It's the field versus you. It's over for you. They're just saying it's over for you.
if it's the thing for me is when it's over for you, you can go out a couple ways. You can just fade into black. You can just have a good career, or you can go
go
out
in a blaze of fucking glory.
Exactly, which
Or
is
you
what
could do
I don't know about glory,
grab
Mel.
barrettes and do a bunch
about
of funny
glory?
hairstyles and be seen with the white boy. I don't want to hear all of this shit. It looks stupid now.
Does this lawsuit? Because from what I could hear in social media and in other media circles, people aren't making a distinction between him suing Kendrick and him suing the record label. People are like, yo, he's suing Kendrick. He's going out like a
No,
sucker.
Kendrick is not involved.
you a bitch
His
no
name's
matter
not
what.
listed.
No,
in
I
the
know, but I'm
suit.
saying people are hearing it like all the jokes, all the stuff.
Yeah.
It's still like he's suing Kendrick.
Yeah.
Well, stopped it.
Right? Does this ruin his? I mean,
Yes.
what does this do for his legacy?
Yes.
This
Hurts
hurts.
it
Yes.
badly.
No matter how you look at it,
Yes.
This is the biggest L I've ever
But-
seen in history.
Right.
Yeah,
That's
well,
what
no,
I'm
but
saying. This is pretty bad.
Like
But look,
athletic
on the-
history, like this is worse than Atlanta.
On the flip side of
Patriots.
that,
But wait,
being called a hurt my legacy. So I gotta fight it.
See, I even think that's a scapegoat. I think
Don't
that's
be
something.
one.
y'all-
Then
y'all
don't
gotta
be
fight.
one.
No. I think it did, but being able to hang your hat on it as for it being the cause of
Right.
all of you going awry is cap. It's
think it's
played
delusion.
a huge part,
Oh, yeah,
but
yeah.
your missteps got us here, and this is the culmination of it.
Your missteps are what got us. I agree with that.
That's like me.
Niggas on the internet talking about this is the biggest L since this bigger fall off than Ja Rule, which I think is a total slap in the face to Ja Rule. I think the audience owes Ja Rule an apology. Ja Rule was never doing this.
No.
Ja Rule was never
he
playing
took
this
his
game.
shit.
If you're saying that, you're not understanding the game that's being
Yeah, didn't Ja Rule like? Yeah, didn't they like? I don't know, bro.
played. This fall off is monumental. Odell ain't called that in years. That really is over now, that relationship. Odell is out. He got his ring. He's not talking to you anymore. And I feel Drake, yo.
how you feeling? But then you kicking his back in.
No, I'm not kicking his back, and I'm telling the truth.
No, well, the truth is,
For 10
comes some
years
kicks.
on this podcast in February, I've had to sit here tight-lipped because everybody's stupid.
No.
I'm not doing that anymore.
But
I don't need YouTube. I don't need hot takes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm one of the few people that could look at this and just know what time it is. Play with them. Don't play with me. I feel Drake because he has fair and valid points in some of this shit, yo. I've showed up for too many of y'all. That DeMar DeRozan shit is still in effect. Yo, you was in my house. I talked you off out of depression. Future, Thug, Weekend. I found you on the f***ing street and pieces. They looking at it. He looking at it like I look at Bleed. He done helped too many people. So now he's watching Since Not Like Us or Not Like Us, whatever you want to call it. Since that I'm seeing the time.
me see if I can take the 808 out of this drum break, the drum sample.
It's turned in ways from places that I never expected it to, and it's up for all of you. It's up for all of you, and I'm with that. I'm with that willfulness and that conviction and that determination. I'm with all of that. I just don't think that he wins it because of the timing of this. But back to that whole facade about. This is for the betterment of musicians everywhere. That's bullshit. Most musicians, even if they're at the top of their game, don't have enough money to do this with the people they need to do it to. 1. 2. Even if they have enough money, they know that if they do that, their career is effectively over. So people are not rushing to do that. I applaud Drake because, to me, this move comes off as, for lack of a better term, like bomber.
Kamikaze, for sure.
Kamikaze.
Yeah, you gotta say that in other words.
Yeah, right there. Bleep that. I don't know if we can use. This is like the end of lioness on that mission they went on. On that mission they went on when George at the boom, and it's over. I think he know it's over.
It's a good ending, though.
Oh, man. Yo, they're killing the cliffhangers. They're killing the cliffhangers going into the next episode. But I think he knows it's over for him, and on the way out, I'm trying to take a few of y'all down with me, and hopefully the after effects of that could help somebody.
But it also gives him a better narrative. So now that he can say Kendrick didn't end my career. I went against the boss of all bosses for the people, and they took me down, and that's why my career is over. I mean, that's a much better ending. Now you can go down as a martyr as opposed to they got bodied in a battle so bad
that I treated unfairly.
Right.
Yeah,
it was the industry versus me.
But right. It's not a bad ending if you want, especially if you're delusional.
It's not a bad ending if he's
That's
writing
some weird
and that's
Kabbalah
it. But
shit, bro.
he has to battle the optics of this in hip hop, and that is you a.
And I think that was a miscalculation. I think he thought suing Universal, nobody would give a. But the way that he tried it out and played out, it looked like he's suing Kendrick.
But not his peers. I mean,
no, I don't think
the
that
peers
works for him because again, you benefited from this. So it looks like just optic wise, like, hey man, I was all right when that was working for me.
Right.
Yeah. Now it's working against me, and we have to destroy all of this shit. We can't be having this. This is now you want to go to your moral high horse.
Right.
But that's where people look at it like
Meek has came out and said, Meek has came out and said some comments. I mean, people are commenting. I mean, I think it's only
what Meek say.
What are they saying?
Sorry. Oh Lord.
No, did he say like Drake did the same thing against him?
No, Meek said that.
That's who got a case.
Because I think, that's what I think is
Meek
different.
got a case.
He said,
Meek does have a case.
but Meek
Shout
be
out to
tripping.
Meek.
Yeah, all right, like that. That's what he said. But Meek be tripping.
Like
yeah.
if you saying that,
Right.
Drake,
Because he was saying the same shit.
If you saying Drake benefited from the labels pushing your album, that's different than saying that they push somebody's album against me.
Right.
Like Meek could say, yo, if that happened to Meek and they said, yo, when I was putting out shit against Drake, it was being suppressed, or that's something totally different than, yo.
But at the same time, the shit he put up against Drake was like some weird skit where he was just talking and had like some wrestling shit behind him. So it'd be different if he put up an actual fight against Drake. Because in my opinion, Meek didn't put up any kind of fight against Drake, bro.
They push my album.
Just what I think. Yeah, and I was just about to say that. Like, I think when you're independent, you can't really rely on the media, and you shouldn't expect them to say anything good about you. Because, I mean, if you know anything about how PR and stuff works, you know what I mean. You have a PR team, you tell them to go say what they gotta say, and if like the way it's gonna look is that, maybe someone has, a one-up on the labels, they're going to put out some PR to make you look a little worse, I think. That's just what I think. Could be totally wrong.
Back in terms of sales and branding and yada, yada, yada. But when you see that back-end money from you hitting upload as a strictly independent, it will make up for it.
Yeah, so that is what Joe Budden had to say about it. Like I said, he really got in. Yeah, so that is what Joe Budden had to say about it. Like I said, he really got into it during this episode. It's a really good
load as a strictly independent. It will make up for it.
Yeah, so that
And Drake should have known or been advised that, yeah, you may take a step back in terms of sales and branding and yada, yada, yada. But when you see that back end money from you hitting upload as a strictly independent, it will make up for it.
Yeah, so that is what Joe Budden had to say about it. Like I said, he really got into it during this episode. It's a really good episode. Obviously, there's more to it. If y'all want to check the rest out, it's over on his Patreon. But yeah, bro, Joe Budden is one of them people. His opinion is highly respected in hip hop, so people have been waiting. I seen everything that he was saying, and I said, man, let me go ahead and get this put up for all my people. But y'all gotta let me know what y'all think about it in the comments down below. Anyways, that's basically it for the video, guys. If you enjoyed the content, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe, tap the notification bell so you get notified every.
All right. I'm gonna let this ride.
LegalZoom makes it simple to start an LLC in 3 easy steps. Just answer a few basic questions, and we'll take care.
Wow, this is sad. This is honestly really sad. So Drake is suing Universal Music Group for using fraudulent tactics to boost the popularity of.
I'm gonna be right back. Make myself a coffee. Got 3 viewers in here. As soon as I get, as soon as I'm peaking, guys, I know I gotta take a break. So give me like 5-10 minutes. Make a coffee. Check on the kids. I'll be right back.
Not like us. And this is what Drake is alleging. And Drake is signed to Republic, which is under Universal Music Group, UMG for short. Kendrick is under PG Lang / Interscope, which is also under UMG. And Drake is honestly playing a very, very dangerous game. You're going after the CEO of UMG, and that's Lucian Grange, the same guy that helped you out, that made you a star. And now that you're not, benefiting from the beef as much as Kendrick, they're mostly prioritizing Kendrick Lamar, but because they're doing that, you want to sue, you want to have a investigation and try to figure out what's going on. This is the same label that benefited you, Drake. Drake wouldn't be where he's at without UMG, no question. And Drake has made UMG so much money throughout the years. Drake's catalog is very, very valuable, and Drake feels betrayed. They should keep prioritizing him, but they've been prioritizing Drake for like a decade plus, and the thing about these labels don't really care about you. They honestly don't. And for Drake to try to attack, UMG just because he feels like it's not benefiting him. Nah, they pumped you. They pushed you for decades on people. I don't know if you guys remember, around I think 2018, around that time, Drake was on he was on every single playlist, like every single genre, everywhere. They were pushing him everywhere on Spotify. And now he wants to sue. He's getting at Spotify and iHeartRadio as well. Like, as you see on the screen, like every playlist he was on. And yeah, like right now, Kendrick is lit. Kendrick is that dude. And they're putting him on playlists. They're putting him out there. He's lit. It's Kendrick Lamar. He's killing it right now. And yeah, it's not benefiting you, Drake. Yeah, with the diss records and stuff like that. But you came at Kendrick's girlfriend and said that she was sleeping with Dave Free, said Kendrick's kid is not his. And you see her trying to sue? And this is a rap beef. You lost, period. This is a rap beef that you lost. And it's not benefiting you. Now you see how it feels not to be on top. Drake's not on top. Pause on that, by the way. But still, like, come on. It's not benefiting you. You're not being favored. And it's not looking good right now because you're going at the label. You're going at Lucian Grange. Good luck. And plus, he has a Party Next Door tape he finna drop. Him and Party. Good luck. They're not even going to prioritize. They're not even going to rock with you like that. Yeah, of course, Drake is still going to have his fans and stuff like that. But, bro, Drake, just accept your loss, bro. You lost. And you're only making it worse for yourself. You're only making it worse for yourself. Drake is a sore loser. He's a sore loser. You lost the beef. And I guarantee you, if people favored Family Matters over Not Like Us and Family Matters and all those diss tracks if they were bigger than Kendrick's diss tracks, he wouldn't be suing. He wouldn't be doing all this. Drake wouldn't be doing that. Drake stans would have been like, he took the laws, Kendrick lost. Oh, you guys are just mad. But now that Kendrick is winning, Kendrick is, oh my God, it's insane. Kendrick flipped it. And now UMG is, they're putting him on playlists. His songs are getting out there. People are rocking with his songs. And now you want to try to sue? For what? Come on, man. You can't change the rules, Drake. And for years, Drake has been messy, going at people's family members, people's wives in diss battles and things of that nature. Drake's always been doing that. And now that, Kendrick said you're a what or whatever, people are going with it. Hey, it's a rap battle. People have said worse than that in rap beef. This is the softest move in rap history, like in rap beef history. This is soft. I'm sorry. It's soft. You've been talking like, Kendrick, I need you to drop. Nah, you gonna drop. Okay, Kendrick's been dropping. He's been dropping. And it's not benefiting you, and now you want to sue? You can't change the rules, Drake. You can't do that.
I don't got nothing against Drake, but how does a guy say what's the rules in a rap battle that had a ghostwriter before? That's not fair, dog. Like, you letting a dude who had a ghostwriter now say what we could do in the dirt. Nah, dog, you gotta stay up there, and you beautiful up there. We love you up there, but don't come down here. That's change the rules. That's wrong because it's war. You can't expect any type of warfare, any type, not just rap. Ain't no rules. Ain't no rules. Like, you have to go into it knowing that anything can happen. That's why your best bet is to not engage. Stay away from beef at all costs if you can. Pusha T just dropped the album. He dropped a diss record the next day and mentioned his wife. Now, he could have not did a record and straight up punched Drake in the face when he seen him. Because that's a violation. Like, and then once you bring somebody's family, you don't know how Pusha T, he about to get married, you don't know how his wife feel. You threw her in the battle, and then you asking him to follow a guideline. That's out of the question. Then something else you asking him to do is not follow tradition. Pusha T is not a new rapper. He's been around for a while. There's no rules in this. He's heard.
This is definitely, the beginning of the end, Not saying if Drake drops a project, no one is going to stream it or anything like that. But, it's Drake, in terms of Drake being everywhere on top and all of this other stuff, that's over with. It's over now. So much has been exposed. He should have never done this on top. He already lost and all that stuff. It was already kind of, slowing down for Drake. But this right here is an all-time low for him. Like, imagine, having a rap beef with somebody, you lose, and then now you want to sue. Like, really think about that. I'm beefing with somebody. I lose the beef, and now I'm gonna sue after that.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of everybody's take, But yeah, I mean everybody's kind of right, bro. Like, it's not like people are wrong in that way. Hold on, let me move this over here.
That's not hard. That's not tough.
All right.
Yeah, that's on some Karen type of stuff. And I don't even like saying.
Yeah. All right. Let's get to work on this beat. Let's see what we got. This is one that yeah, this was when we started on stream. Oh, I finally learned how to use song mode on the MPC. So things are going to be a lot easier. Because what I was doing was like using the 6 outs to record. .86 BPM. Is that what this was? 86 times 2 is 172. Is that right? No, can't be. Okay, 86. It was like 86 point something though. I know it was. Yeah. Yeah, I think in some parts I'll cut the 808 out. So I think like cut this right here like that. Right there. And then for the 808 kind of we can do this. Yeah. Alright, so we should cut all this real quick. We're gonna move it all back. I want this to be a little more pronounced. So the hook is gonna be up until here. This is the hook right here. That's how you finish an MPC beat. I figured out how to do it without recording the 6 outs. And I'm so happy about that. Because I would put off so much shit just because I would have to like replay the beat and all that stuff. But I like how this turned out. I kind of want to do something with this part, but let me think. I do actually know my VSTs in here hell of a lot better than the ones in the MPC. And another thing I realized is like when exporting the stems from the MPC and then using them in FL, it is better to not use any of the VSTs to manipulate the sound, especially if I'm gonna do it all in here and do the stem extract on everything. Yeah, there's no point. But I do think that I have stem extract in the MPC, because like I went looking through it today and it was one of the options, and I didn't pay for it or anything like that. But I also didn't try it because, you know. Yeah, I kind of like that, dude. Too much noise, you know? Alright, this isn't, wait. we have a problem, guys. This is not good. Let's see. Damn, I'm glad I caught that. I hate when that happens. So I gotta do that everywhere. Or not everywhere, but... Alright, whatever. We'll save this. That's probably as far as that one's gonna go. Unless I play it for someone and be forced to clean it up. Alright, let's see what else I got in here. This is one I made on stream. And let's see what we got. So I think I arranged this one just beat starts right away. Yeah. Very cool.